So this is car 1019. We are going to start it up. The first course of action is to open the battery door. Once you lift it up all the way, it locks right here. If you let it go, it will stay. These are the batteries. There are 3 batteries in here, quite long. End goes with the receiver, and you have to wiggle them together until they click. Once they click, they are hooked together. You will not know this until you turn the battery on. Push the lever, let it fall, lock it. You don't want this open while you're in service. So when you plug the battery in, you come into the console operators area. It's going to tell you right here on the dashboard that the battery is discharged. In order to charge it, there's a button here that you can see in the daytime. It is to turn the battery on. You press that, the lights come on, the air comes on. The car is not powered on yet, it's just charging the battery. We have to go outside to turn the car on, putting the pole up. Now we're going to put the pole on the wire. And as soon as we put the pole on the wire, you'll hear the car powering up. That sound and the lights on the side of the car, the car is now powered up. So now that the car is on, this is the cab. This is the electrical panel which we will run the car from. The car is now on, it's ready to move. This is the key. It is very unique. It is an N2 key, very hard to find. This contraption that it is on is a multi-use tool that can be used in parts of the car to unlock doors and cabinets that control air conditioning, that control different units in the car that help the car run and to help fix the car. It will also help if the steps outside get jammed. There's a cool little lever that you hook this into and you can unlock and store the steps manually. We hope that doesn't happen. Tight fit. Key goes in this hole. It's the only hole you can put it in. Turn it to the right, it's the only way it can go. This is your control lever. It'll tell you if it's going forward as a single unit, as a coupled car, meaning having 2 articulated or more cars, or in emergency mode. To light this up and to use the door switches, we just want to turn it 1 notch. That'll also turn the air on. Now if we want to exit, we will use one of these buttons. Since we are up front and next to the handicap side, this button right here is not lit up at all. It doesn't have any sort of writing on it because if we press it, it will activate the handicap door. These 2 buttons right here tell me that the driver left door, which is the door directly behind me, will only open. If I press this button, that will open all doors on the left-hand side. This button right here will allow me to open all doors on the right-hand side, but not the handicap door. That is only controlled by this button. These are the battery buttons, as was explained before. This is the pantograph buttons. We do not use these because we do not use the pantograph. These are the lights. This will turn the lights on. This will turn the lights off. Fan that is above here, it'll turn it on. We have 2 light switches. We have a high beam and a regular light. This is called the annunciator button. The annunciator will tell the customer riding what stop is ahead and what train line we are on. This button right here, when any of these are on and the doors are shut, you press this button that will lock the doors and turn off the light switch underneath of the button. And you hear a ding when this goes off. This right here is the lighted up part of the door button. When this is on, these are on, that means the door is open. And you press this, it chimes, and this goes off. These go off as well. This button is very important. It's the no step. There are steps outside of this trolley. When we go to a high-level platform, we do not want to use steps. If we do, then we get to use this key to manually store the steps. So when we here go to Blacklog or we go to Meadow Street, we have to press the step button. However, on this set of cars, the step button only works on the B side, the opposite side control. So this step button, pressing it will do absolutely nothing. But when it's depressed at the other side, it will not allow the step to come out. The doors will still open, but the step will not come out. These are the illumination buttons that if something goes wrong, for example, this little arrow, this little triangle with exclamation point will come up. If there's an error, this will come up. The door, air conditioning, it'll tell you it's on. Call if they wanted to call. Dispatch or call an operator, they would use this and then cancel it. This button right here is very important if you're in emergency or if there's something wrong and this triangle lights up or this triangle lights up, you hit this button and it just silences the alarm. This over here we don't use. This right here is your forward and reverse toggle switch. Move it forward, go forward, you go forward, accelerate, go back, you slow down, and then you pull it all the way back. It's emergency brake. We went over this and we went over this, so as long as everything looks good, we are ready to go. So now we are ready to operate. You have two options to make this car move for a dead man. The dead man is a fail-safe so that if the driver were to, for some reason, have a episode where he can no longer operate the car, he releases his foot, my left foot is on a dead man, or he's pressing his thumb on a dead man. If either of those are released, then the car will stop in emergency mode. So I use the foot, it's easier where my left foot is. My right foot can be put on the horn, and my right hand can use the quacker. We use the quacker 2 chimes to get going. We turn this switch right here 2 clicks with my dead man down, engaging the circuit breaker. That's what that button was. When this light is on, that means the circuit breaker needs to be engaged. Everything else looks good. This means that disc brakes are on. When we get going, that will turn off. We are good to go. Key is on. The switch is in the vertical position. That means we are operating with multiple units, but this is how we normally operate. 2 clicks, move forward, and off we go. The disc brake switch has gone off. That means we are moving and the brakes are not engaged anymore. This car can go up to about 25-30 miles per hour. We run it about 15 to 20 because of track conditions and its temperament. So now we've reached the end of the line. We are going to turn the vertical knob. We're in the vertical position. 1, 2 clicks. That will allow me to release my foot off the dead man. No problems. Now we will go outside to turn the pole. Change the pole. Now I will exit out the back. Behind me, I'll press this button. That tells me that the driver's left door behind the driver will open, and that is illuminated to tell me that the doors in the car, 1 set of doors, 2 set of doors, doesn't matter. If that is on, that means the set of doors has been activated to deploy the step. So now we will get up. over here, press the button. The step will deploy. Very carefully go down. So on this LRV, like I said, there was a pantograph button. We do not use the pantographs on this line. We are a trolley museum. We have attached trolley poles. The arrow wire cannot hold a pantograph, so the trolley pole is fairly long. So the trolley pole comes out. Very carefully, right onto the wire. Slowly let go, and goes to the other end. So now we've changed ends. We need to shut this console down and go to the other end. First we have to shut the door off. Hit this button. When it's the driver's side door only, you hit the exact same button you hit. You do not need to hit this button. This button will shut all the doors off or make sure they're closed. Hit that button, click. We will turn the lights off. We will turn this horizontally. That will turn off the air for a second. Turn the key up. We will turn the lights on so I can see and walk to the other end.